was awful.
I thought they were great.
Really was about doing it. I know.
What night did you go?
Last weekend. Friday.
We went to Jones Beach.
I was there too.
Oh.
That was great.
I don't know what you were saying, but where we were, you couldn't see a thing but his white hat and the piano in front of him.
That's right. I know. This is like a different perspective.
Hey, you are live.
I don't have to see.
Huh?
She's calling me up. This lady wants you in. So I'll go in. Next year?
Hine matovu manayim, sheberachim gam yachad. Hine matovu manayim, sheberachim gam yachad. Hine matov, sheberachim gam yachad. Hine matov, sheberachim gam yachad. Hine matov manayim, sheberachim gam yachad. Hine matov manayim, sheberachim gam yachad. Indeed, how good it is to come together, to dwell together as one big family. It's so nice. I know many of you, like me, have been in and out of town this summer, and so, we catch each other on the fly. But we come together for Shabbat, and that is a wonderful thing. So lovely to see everybody. Let's turn to page 121. Get into the Shabbat space. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who enter this virtual space in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. And so we're going to enter the Shabbat space now by kindling the lights. Errol, come on up.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Continue on the next page.
The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Lift up the cups now. Together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei קודשו, באהבה וברצון, הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר לציאת מצרים. כי באנו בחרת, אותנו קידשת, מכהנים בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן. חיים. May the Shabbat bring you peace and many blessings. So let's turn before we turn to L'chadodi, which we will get to in just a moment. I like to, even though we won't be singing all of these psalms that preceded, I like to share with you this image, which is that our tradition gives us psalms to sing, to kind of go step by step up the ladder from the everyday to this time of Shabbat. It's as if each rung of a psalm allows us to just shed a little more of the everyday stuff and to feel our spirits lifted. So, as I said, we're not going to sing them all, but I want you to just take a moment and visualize. Our ancient ancestors had said also, when the great temple stood, they used to sing the psalms as they walked up the steps of the towards the outer courtyard of the Holy Temple. So take a moment and just on your own, take one step, shed a little bit. Take another step, give it up a little more. Maybe a third step, a nice deep breath. And then let's turn together to page 138. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. 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 Shamor v'zachor v'tipor echad, Ishmianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'tila. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. Verse 5. Hitoreri, ki va'oreh kumi ori, uri, shir taveri, kevod Adonai alai mekilah. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. Let's face the door to greet Shabbat. Bo'im shalom ba'ater ba'ala, gam b'simcha u'b'tzola, tov emunei am segula, bo'ikala, bo'ikala. Lecha dodi mikra kala, and Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi mikra kala, and Shabbat nikabela. And that is the final rung on that ladder, and Shabbat is here. Turn to somebody maybe you haven't yet greeted tonight. Wish them Shabbat Entrances to holiness are everywhere. Possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times. And through unlikely places, there is no place on earth without the presence. Please remain standing as we turn to page 146 for the marker. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'dvaro ma'ariv ha'aravim v'chokhmah poteach she'arim v'tbuna mishaneh itim machaliv et hazmanim mesader et hakochavim v'mishmoroteihem barakia kirtzono borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or Ma'avir yom u'mevi laila, u'ma'avdil ben yom u'ben laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, el chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim. 150. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha ahavta, everlasting love. You offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, eternal God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam And so I'm going to invite you to join me on page 154, not with Hebrew, but by reading the English together. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments, and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohim and Let's turn to page 157. Bottom of the page will read responsibly. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far, alas, from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth.
My heavens declare your glory, and the earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by the prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace.
Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la la. Ya la la la. Mi amocha ba'edim Adonai. Mi kamocha ne'edav kodesh. Norati lo osefele, norati lo osefele. Malechutecha ra'u panecha, pokea lifnei Moshe Miriam. Ze'eli anu v'amru, ze'eli anu v'amru. Adonai Yimlo le'olam va'ed. Adonai Yimlo le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la la. Ya la la la, ya la la la. Top of page 161 is a translation, a creative translation of the Hashkimin prayer that we say at night. I don't yet know, although we have sung it here, I don't yet know Noah Aronson's melody to which you put these words. But it's in my head, not well enough to sing it to you, alas. Does the choir know it? I'm looking at Vivian and Carol. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and truth be our shelter from life's storms. That's just that little bit is enough to keep it in my head. Let's read it all together. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and arise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu v'yalkol u'amot Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim. Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat Le'dorotam b'ritom Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat Le'dorotam b'ritom Ve'yiyu b'nei Yisrael Oti le'olam Oti le'olam Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat Le'dorotam b'ritom Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabbat lasot et hashabbat le'dorotam b'ritom U'bayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat Le'dorotam b'ritom Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat Le'dorotam b'ritom. Turn next to page 164 as we are invited to picture each of us in the presence of God and yet in the company of each other as well. Please rise for Tikvah. Adonai, Shabbat Tikvah, Ufiyah Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, Ha'gibor HaNorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Achol, V'zocher Chaserot B'malot, U'megidula Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo V'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Moed, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol atah V'Rav L'Oshiach, U'Aviv atah, Mechakel Chaim V'Chesed, Mechayeh HaKol V'Rachamim Rabim, Tzomech Noflim V'Rofeh Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato L'Shenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Kivurot, U'Midon Elad, Melech Menid, Hayed, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Leman Atah Hayotanu, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayed HaKol. Atah Kadosh V'Shemcha Kadosh, Kedoshim B'Kol Yom Yalu Chasela. Baruch Atah Adonai, HaEl HaKadosh. Be seated. Let's bless this time of Shabbat, together on page 173 at the top. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch Atah Adonai, Mekadesh Shabbat. In gratitude for the gift of water, I am going to turn us now to our prayer of thanksgiving, or prayer of gratitude, page 177. I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. Does anybody have anything you'd like to share, something you're feeling grateful for today, this week, coming up? Anybody? Welcome to Danny.
Well, today's my birthday.
Yay!
And on Sunday is Carolyn's birthday.
Yay! So it's a double simcha.
And yesterday was my brother's birthday.
Wow! That's wonderful. May the year ahead bring you great joy and happiness and blessings. Thank you. Anyone else?
Well, we did not have heat this week.
So we did not what?
Have a heat wave this week.
Yes, it's been
Well,
good.
to enjoy.
Weather has been glorious. Yeah, it's been really nice. I don't know if it's gonna last, but that's all the more reason to appreciate it while it's here, right? Wonderful. Let's read these words together. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch Atah Adonai, Atov Shemcha, U'Chana En Lakutot. So in a moment, we'll sing together our prayer for peace on the next page. I wanted to share with you, because I think it's important that you know that the Reform movement, our movement, issued a statement today, a joint statement. By joint, it means that it was signed by the Union for Reform Judaism, the American Conference of Cantors, and the Central Conference of American Rabbis, kind of representing all of us. I'm not going to read it all because it's lengthy, but I am going to share a couple of paragraphs. We said, today, as the state of Israel is faced with difficult choices in its long and deadly war against Hamas, we implore Israel to choose life for our hostages, our soldiers, and innocent civilians in Gaza by ending, not extending, this war. We are deeply distressed that Israel's Security Cabinet approved Prime Minister Netanyahu's plan to extend Israeli control over the Gaza Strip. As Jews who believe in an Israel that aspires to be both safe and ethical, we're galvanized by the position of a growing array of Israeli military, intelligence, and political leaders and experts, as well as the clear majority of Israeli public, who warn that the Israeli government's plan to further occupy Gaza would be a military, political, and humanitarian calamity. In And then it ends with these words. There's more of this. There is no question that Hamas bears the responsibility for this war, for the conditions in Gaza right now, for failing to put down its arms, for its refusal to release the hostages, and for resisting improved conditions for its people. However, Israel has the ability and the responsibility to prioritize its own people and values by recognizing that now is the time to end this war, bring its hostages home, and create a coalition of Arab nations with the U.S. and other allies to rebuild Gaza and shape a better tomorrow for all. You may quibble with some of the words here. We don't all have to agree. But what I think we do agree on is that we pray for a shalom rav, that is a peace that is enduring and lasting, where everybody can sit in peace under their vine and fig tree, and where none can feel afraid. So in the name of that hope and prayer, let's sing this prayer together. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech hador, lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech hador, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Let's just sit for a few moments in silence with that word shalom and with your own private prayers as you turn to the prayers in your heart. Of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable to you, O God. So tonight we're going to read from our Torah, in just a little while. But before we do, I want to just share a few words to kind of place that in context. As many of you know and have asked me, yes, I've been traveling. I have lots of stories to tell about Peru. But the past week, I was actually in Disneyland, which is not Peru. It was very different from Peru. I was there in California to be with my 3 delicious grandkids there. And my crazy stepdaughter. By crazy, I mean she keeps them on the go nonstop. So she's the sort who wants to get there. I learned a new term at rope drop, which is the term, anybody heard that? That's what it means when they open the doors to Disneyland. They have to open the rope and say, come on in. So she wants to get there at the beginning of the day and stay the entire day. And for those of you who don't know, Disneyland closes at midnight. So it was a crazy long time. Lots of fun to be with the grandkids and to be, they don't see me that often, so I'm kind of a treat for them. And so I get to be a rock star for a while. It's a lot of fun. I have to tell you, I'm not usually a fan of amusement parks. I don't love roller coasters or scary rides. Of course, doing it with the kids makes it all different. I would do anything for them. But I also was really impressed that I really felt there truly is a magic about Disneyland. Part of it is seeing the characters come alive and looking at the looks on the kids' faces as that happens. Part of it is the entertainment, the parades, the fireworks, all done to perfection. But most especially for me, the magic comes from something else, which is the feeling that's created there. The Disney staff, who are called cast members, are trained not just to be perfunctorily polite, but warm. Nobody curses. Customer service is prioritized. When we were sitting down for breakfast, I complimented our waitress about the vegan tart I had at breakfast, and she came back with a picture of the ingredients to the tart. And said, "Here, take a photo of this, you can make it at home." And despite the long lines, people by and large did not shove. When they had to merge 2 lines together, they let each other in. They prioritized the kids and those with mobility issues. It felt a little bit like utopia. A place where everybody gets along and quite simply spreads kindness. So tonight's Torah portion is Parshat Va'etchanan. It's the second portion of the book of Deuteronomy, and it has several famous moments in it. Most notably, we get the reiteration of the 10 Commandments in this portion, right? Those rules which we need to live by. But what it's actually most known for, this portion, are words we've already recited tonight, and words that we recite every time we come together. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, and the words of the V'ahavta that follow. You know the translation. We read the English, that's part of that, but hear, O Israel, God is our God, God alone. And these are things that I command you, to love God with all your heart, all your breath, all your might. Teach these words to your children, speak of them when you sit at home, when you travel on the road, when you lie down, and when you arise. So I think it's interesting to me to know, first, that the rules of the 10 Commandments are important, of course, but they're somehow incomplete with this further simple but profound rule. God wants us to love. V'ahavta. Right? Now, the V'ahavta itself says we are to love God. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohech. So, what does that mean? What does it mean to love God? You might think initially that it has to do with your own private connection to God, right? Saying your prayers, meditating, keeping God in your heart. But actually the words of the V'ahavta suggest something otherwise. They suggest that we don't love God in isolation. The V'ahavta teaches us actually that we're supposed to teach the words to our children. We're supposed to speak them to other people as we go along our daily business. Rabbi Tali Adler puts it this way. She says that loving God is not an individual isolated experience. The instruction to speak the words tells us that we have to use our words to engage with each other, right? To bring to our minds and hearts into connection with each other. Our love of God is a bridge between us and the human beings we love. So love, even love of God, is about connecting. And there's more. Love, as you may know and have heard me say many times, love, is particularly in Judaism, is not just a noun, it's a verb. We love God not only by talking about God or even talking to God, but by acting in ways that make God manifest in the world, in ways that recognize the godliness of every human being, and treating them accordingly. So love of God really isn't only about God, but about loving other people. Rabbi Hyde, in his book, Judaism is About Love, puts it succinctly this way. He says, a Judaism that fulfills its purpose is a Judaism in which we are all moved to greater acts of love and kindness than we might otherwise be. That's the project, he says. So love. I will tell you that it's the weekly parsha that brings that to mind. It's been many of our prayers. But you should also know there's another reason I raised this tonight. Because tonight actually begins another minor Jewish festival. Tonight, on the full moon, on the 15th of the Hebrew month of Av, we have the opportunity to mark the holiday known as Tu B'Av. Not Tisha B'Av, not the low point in the calendar, but Tu B'Av, the full moon of Av, is considered the festival of love. The Talmud tells us this: the greatest days for the Jewish people were Tu B'Av and Yom Kippur. Well, we all know the greatness of Yom Kippur, right? It's the opportunity to be forgiven for any misdeeds we may have done. What is this Tu B'Av, anyway? A couple of facts about it. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail, but it's first mentioned in the Mishnah, right? And there it's described that the daughters of Jerusalem would go out dressed in white and dance in the vineyards. Right? It was associated with the grape harvest, and there were a few traditions that connected to Tu B'Av. Let me just share a couple of them. Members of the tribe of Benjamin, who later on in our history had been disgraced, were readmitted into the community, and intermarriage between them and the other tribes was now permitted. The death of the generation that left Egypt, if you remember, we were to die out for the 40 years of wandering in the desert. That period of death ended as if God had forgiven the people. So Tu B'Av, this festival of love, I think is actually a precursor to Yom Kippur. I think the two holidays are mentioned together in the Talmud because they both turn us towards one another in forgiveness, in kindness, in openness, and yes, in love. Immediately after the holiday of Tisha B'Av, which took place last week, and which some say took place because of baseless hatred, we work our way back up to forgiveness and to love. So on this Tu B'Av, as we soon will turn and take our Torah out and read those words of the V'ahavta which you are so familiar with, let's recommit to the spirit of Disneyland. If not the physical place, then it's needless. Let's continue to be kind, to open our hearts to each other, to forgive one another, forgive ourselves too while we're at it. Then may everywhere be called not only Eden, but also the happiest place on earth again. Shabbat shalom. So we're now going to turn to our Torah service so that we can read those words. We're on page 362. I invite you to rise as the ark is moving. Say together now, knowing that these words are from this week's portion. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonai, Gadol Shema. Anybody want to sing any favorite song? So you may be seated. I am also going to issue an invitation now that I've told you to sit down. As I was rolling the scroll to this portion today, I was reminded just how beautiful the calligraphy in the Torah is, and especially the words of the Shema itself. As you may know, you've heard me say before, two of the letters, the Ayin and the Dalet, are enlarged, and in this particular scroll, one of the other letters, I think it's the Aleph for Adonai, is also beautifully, what's the word? Beautified. It's elaborate. It's got all these lovely crowns on it. So, if you are interested in seeing it for yourself, as well as the words of the Via Hafta, which you all know, I invite you to come on up and just gather around me to look. For the honor of the Aliyah, I'm delighted to call upon our birthday couple, Danny and Carolyn. Come on up. Now, do still know the other Torah. First, everybody just take a look. You can't miss where you are, right? You can see that beautiful design for Eloheinu is what it's on. The larger ayin and the larger dalet. Okay. So we're going to kiss it. And now, where are the bells?
We're the best.
Somebody left them behind. Okay, for the Aliyah, do us the honor, please, if you want. Everyone. Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher b'ta'am mikol ha'anim. Baruch Adonai. Amen. Nope, you're still there. So I'm going to read when we get to the Behalf. If you want, you don't know it, but you won't know the tune, so you can join me. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'avta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom ha'levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'divatam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'v'lechtecha b'derech u'v'shochtecha u'kumecha u'kshatam le'od ha'yadecha v'hayu l'totafot ein einecha u'k'tavtam ha'mezuzot b'beitecha u'b'sharecha. Oops. Part after. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata v'tokenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Yeah, excellent question. The Baruch Shem Kavod and also the Echad Eloheinu, right, are both liturgical inserts that are not in the Torah. But when these verses were lifted out of the Torah and became part of our liturgy, is there? Oh, we want the congregation to respond. So that's so Shema Yisrael, hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, and then everybody says, yes, may God's name be blessed forever and ever. That's the verse.
This is also separate.
Yes, and then Anochi, yes, Anochi Adonai Elohecha. Yes, so that's another really beautiful, right? Yes, but it's an emphasis. Anochi Adonai Elohecha, the beginning of the Ten Commandments.
I can't see the words at the same time.
It's the same decoration. Yeah, well, they're both done by hand. Remember, this whole thing.
The whole thing is done by hand.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, well, it takes a lot of years to do it. Like it takes a lot of years to do knitting. It's a labor of love. It's exactly what it is. Yes. Yeah. So first we say, Yom Haledet Sameach. Right? Happy birthday, especially to you, Daddy, today. Thank you for sharing it with us and helping us, enabling us to be like part of your festivities and party. And Carolyn, in a couple of days, it's your happy birthday to you too. I said before, may this year fill your lives with more adventures and joy, lots of opportunities to sing, to celebrate, to tell stories, and to be with people you care about. Yes.
The
Yes.
rest of Deuteronomy is here.
Yes. Yes. That's the rest of it. It's not that long a book, actually. Okay, great. So with our Torah scroll open, we're also going to take this moment and say a prayer for healing. We just pray out a prayer. You're welcome to stay up here if you want, but you could also go down. Okay. Let's think of the people in our lives and those we know and those others know who are in need of healing, including Jamie Lippman-Abish, Eileen Amduck, Dylan Bassett, Benjamin Menachem Frank, Carolyn Barone, Miriam Shulamit, Babela, G. Bieber, Jane Bernstein, Arnold Block, Dennis Brenner, Jack Kazis, Jason Conboy, Nora Correa, Luciano DeRico, Richard Domash, Pamela Dorman, Susan Zietzig, Janet Ewing, Kelly Fink, Arthur Fisher, Judy Fisher, Michelle Fisk, Evan Foster, Barbara Goldberg, Florence Goldberg, Sandra Goldberg, Florence Goldring, Stephen Goldstein, Jean Gormley, Elise Grace, Lee Hawley, Marilyn Heckler, Enid Hirsch, Matthew A. Hood, Dacia Horowitz, Phyllis Warren, Callie Israel, Jason Israel, Stephen Israel, Toby Israel, Christine Jacobson, Danette Jamal, Louis Kaufman, Lisa Kimmel, Tatiana Kotunyak, Esther Krachevsky, Sandy Lay, Gail Levy, Robert Mandel, Robert Mannix, Barbara Massey, Susan Miller, Ashley Morante, Adam Morante, Hunter Patel, Bat Miriam, Michal Zahaba, Bat Miriam, Shmuel Yitzhak Ben Nissan, Patrice Newman, Norm Tzipor, Bat Ilana, Carrie Odell, Sophia Palladino, Esther Parker, Belinda Pescatori, Helga Pfeffer, Rabbi Lester Polanski, Eliza Rosenman Raff, Carol Ryder, Jan Rhodes, Julie Rosenberg, Laura Rosenspan, Renee Rosenthal, Sylvia Rubel, Martine Rubin, Jeannie Rudick, Adele Schoner, Charlotte Miriam Schnupp, Tova Bat Shifra, Michael Spadali, Edmund Steiner, Rhoda Strobel, Mark Strominger, Arlene Iris Wisson, Rachel Leah, Bat Yosefa, Jeffrey Young. Is there anybody who would like to share with us other names who you'd like to pray for? Thank you. Others, Ellen? Susan Wilson. Thank you, Arlene.
Aaron Wilson.
Thank you, Meryl.
Shancy Jacobson, Kayla Bhattacharya, Rachel,
Father, what a blessing be with all of those whose names you said out loud, as well as those we're thinking of in our hearts. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Olam. Please join me. Yisherach Avotenu Mekor Avraham Le'imotenu. May the source of strength who has flown before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Yisherach Imotenu Mekor Avraham Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. So friends, we're going to lift and dress the Torah now and return it to the ark. So to lift the Torah, Farhad, come on up. Help us dress, Vivian, come on up. And I invite you all to please rise. The Torah is now lifted. V'zot Torah asher Moshe lifnei Israel api Adonai b'yad Moshe. La 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 Turn to page 586 for Aleinu. Aleinu Shabbat Ladon Tikvah Yosef Bereshit Shelo Asanu Yeharatzot Velo Shamanu V'Ishtakot Ha'adama Shelo Samtel Kinukah B'Goroinu B'Kol Hamonam V'Anachnu Horim U'Shakanim U'Odim V'Yiftereh Malkei Hamlakim HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'Yema V'Adonai V'Melech You may be seated. As our service draws towards its close, our thoughts turn to those who departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and our neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and every nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. Let's remember them all and think of the goodness they gave us and give thanks. So in this period of Shoshim, the first 30 days of mourning, with love, we now remember Erwin Schneider, remembered by Susan and by Alex Schneider and family. And this week as well, we mark the yard sites of the following people with love. We now recall Eileen Backer, mother of Elizabeth Kirshner, David Brown, in-law of Doris S. Brown, Elaine Fine, friend of Lawrence and Gloria Ferreros Constant, Charles Freeman, grandfather of Lord Panetta. Miriam Friedman, mother of Mitchell Friedman of blessed memory. Nathan S. Goldberg, grandfather of Martin Cohen. Sylvia Jassy, mother of Roger Jassy. Ruth Kamenstein, mother of Judy Weinstock. Jacob Kornhauser, grandfather of Sharon Adler. Joyce Milstein, wife of Rabbi Emeritus Rabbi Ronald Milstein. Helen Schwartz Nittman, aunt of Marilyn Schwartz. Eleanor Oken, mother of Avery Eli Oken. Rose L. Owens, grandmother of Barbara Orville. George Ravens, father of Richard M. Ravens. Phyllis Rice, mother of Cynthia Bettelheim. Arthur Rothkopf, father of Marilyn Markowitz. Irving Schoenhout, brother-in-law of Helene Schoenhout and uncle of Eileen Schoenhout. Morris Weinerman, father of Judy Lefkowitz. And Jillian Weiner and Lindsay Weiner, granddaughters of John Weiner. Anybody else would like to share with us the name of someone you are remembering? Now's your moment. Zichronom Livracha. May the memories of our beloved and of the righteous everywhere continue to bless us. Friends, let's turn together to page 598. Let's rise as one community now. We remember all of them as well as those who have the money to say Yishkadal, Yishkadal, Shemei Rabbah, Yamad Yivrach, Yuteh, Yamlich Malchuteh, B'chayei Chom v'yom Echom, B'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, B'Hagalah Yizman Kariv Yimru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach, Le'olam Amen Amayah. Yiparach, Yishtabach, Yiparar, Yitramam, Yitnaseh. Yitadar, Yitaleh, Yitalal, Shemei Dekusha, Brihu. La'ela Mikol, Yerchata V'shirata, Dushbachata V'nechamata, Damiram Yilmam V'yinru, Amen. Yehei Shlam Arava Mishamayim, L'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, Yimru, Amen. Say Shalom Yimamav, Uyach Shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol Yoshvei Tevel, v'yimru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all who dwell on earth. To which we say, Amen. May be seated. So I might need your help for announcements. Here's what I know. I know that tomorrow's still Shabbat, and so we are going to have Torah study at 9:15, both in person and on Zoom. So anybody is free to join us for that. I believe that cardio, core, and more, and choir practice and on the mark take place at their usual times this week. I believe that the Sisterhood Honey Sale is on, and that now is the time to order honey for a sweet new year for people you care about. And I also know, I think you, if you were following your email, you saw a couple of bits of announcements that have gone out this week or last week. One announcing that we are holding our religious school next year at the Sam Field Center. Why? Which we had a meeting with religious school parents about yesterday. There's a lot of excitement about that, which would be wonderful. And others saying that we are exploring a bunch of opportunities about where we'll be for all the rest of it. Stay tuned, but also help us. There we have announced that there are going to be 2 focus groups that will. We're inviting anybody who wants to come and to share your opinions about where we're headed and what's most important to you. I don't remember both dates, but I know the first one is 2 weeks from tonight, on August 22nd. And we're going to entice you to come because it's just before a lovely Shabbat service. Larry Constant will be guest cantor that night with me. And I think there might be some libations beforehand. I'm not sure about that. But if you come an hour early, 6:30, you can participate in the focus group and then have a lovely Shabbat service. And then the other one is in September. Check the weekly update for the date. Yes, Meryl?
Monday's Temple Book Club, the Samurai started
Thank you. Monday, Temple Book Club.
7:30.
Thank you. Jeff? Excellent. Tuesday writing room. It's a busy week. Excellent. Robin? Book of Remembrance. Thank you. Yes. The information has gone out about that. And respond to that and the Rosh Hashanah card. It is crazy. Sometimes I feel like, it's like a little jarring when you're in the midst of summer to go, oh my goodness, those holidays, but they're here, or they're coming. So if you can participate in the Rosh Hashanah card, that would be great. And if you are interested in adding your names to the Book of Remembrance, all that information is online. Anything else I missed? Okay, as always, we'll be upstairs in the Beaver just after the service to have a nice home-ec and celebrate together. Let's end with another prayer for peace. All right, please join me. Say Shalom Bivrama. Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Le'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Le'al Kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Le'al Kol Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min ha'aretz.